Good morning. So glad to see you today. I'm just thinking today about how crazy our life is and how sometimes we're just filled up with so much busyness, so much empty busyness. Our days are just full of phone calls and emails and text messages and to-do lists. And I don't know about you, but sometimes I just feel like I'm drowning. I just I feel like there's so much that I have to do as a mom, as the wife of a franchise owner, and as a caregiver of a chronically ill child. I feel like I'm just constantly running, constantly giving, and constantly trying to take care of everyone's needs. And my pastor this weekend said sometimes we just need rest. We can't always feel like we're holding the world up on our shoulders. I'm not God. I can't fix everything. Some things are in God's hands. So we need to remember that God is in control. I'm not in control. You're not in control. So when you're having a day when you just feel like you can't go on any longer like this, or you just feel like all the phone calls and all the craziness is just sucking the life out of you, just remember that sometimes we have to be still. There's been so many times in the last year when I've cried out to God, just really hurting and struggling and not knowing how I can take care of other people's problems, or how am I going to care for a child that's really sick and hurting. And God always says the same thing: be still. So this morning, I want to just be still with you. So I'd like you to just stop whatever you're doing. Close your eyes and breathe. Breathe and just take a big, deep breath. And I want you to imagine that you're out in the pasture and you're beside still waters. Beside still waters. And God's calling you to be still. I want you to think about someone in your life who has been an influence for you, someone who symbolized who you want to be as a person, or maybe someone who really helped you or was a good example for you. I want you to think about that person and what made that person special. What was different about them? Now, I can name just countless people in my life who have been influential at different times. But the person that I want to talk today about is my grandma, June Reid. She passed away about 10 years ago. And June Reid was an incredible woman. She was a strong Christian woman, widowed at a young age, raised 3 wonderful but mischievous and strong-willed children, did an excellent job raising them. And one of those was my mother. And she just was the kind of person that never spoke ill of anyone else, exuded strength and dignity, but she always fought for her kids, and she always fought for the right thing. And when my grandma was alive, one of the things that she gave me was her Bible, and I have that here today. This was probably the biggest legacy she left me, was her Bible. And this was also her mother's Bible. She gave it to her mama on December 25th, 1945 for Christmas. And in her Bible that she gave me all her Bible study notes. And I'll tell you, it's a treasure seeing something in your someone that you admire and loves handwriting. To be able to go back and read it, it's just incredible. Now, my grandma's favorite Bible verse was Psalm 23, and I was just thinking about that. And Psalm 23 spoke to who she was, someone who loved the Lord, who walked quietly with the Lord, and trusted Him to guide her. And when she needed to, she knew how to be still. She knew how to be led by quiet waters, by her shepherd, Jesus. So today, in honor of my grandma, June Reid, I would like to read Psalm 23. And I'm reading it. Typically, I use the ESV or sometimes the NIV, but in her honor, I'm going to do the King James Version because this was my grandma's Bible, and it's very special to me. So, Grandma, this is for you. Psalm 23. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. You preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. One of my dear friends and mentors told me of a vision she had once when she, years and years ago, when she was a young mom and she was in having some marital issues and just feeling lack of control of her life, because at that time her husband didn't share her faith. And she remembered she had this dream that Jesus was holding the sheep, and the sheep was all wiggly and squirming and trying to get out of Jesus's arms. And Jesus wanted this sheep to just let him hold him up. And it was like the sheep didn't realize who was holding him. And my friend said that God spoke to her in that dream and said, you are that sheep. And what that meant to her is she realized that she was trying to fix everything. She was trying to help her husband see and understand, and she was trying to do so much for her kids. And God was saying, hey, I have this. I'm holding you. Just rest in me. A shepherd in those days was a very humble person, was not necessarily revered by society in those days. But a shepherd was someone who gave his life to his work and would do anything for a sheep, would even lay down his life to protect them. And that's what Jesus does. And that's what Jesus did for us when he died on the cross. So today, when your life is crazy and busy, just remember that there's a still small voice asking you to just stop for a minute and be still. And he will take you to the quiet waters of his Holy Spirit, and he will give you a drink of his love. So we're in the valley and we're feeling distressed from the uncertainty of life, or we're experiencing fear, worry, anxiety. What a blessing to know that we have our shepherd with us, just to hold us up and walk with us. So keep that in mind today as you're going about whatever the world holds. We have a God who loves us and will help us through it. Thanks so much and have a great day.